Hello and welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, a show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland, Mississippi Today fame. Dad, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm still recovering from all the tension and drama of the Masters.
From the long wait is finally over. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic weekend. Rory McIlroy gets his green jacket, completes the career Grand Slam. I was talking to a buddy of mine. The graphic they put up when he's putting that says, for the career Grand Slam is nuts.
Yeah, it just, I can't remember ever watching a sports event more tension-filled, more drama involved. Part of what made Rory McIlroy's victory so amazing is that he beat all the greatest players in the world, but what he finally did was he conquered his own demons. But not without a few
I'm
anxious moments.
wading into this. We can't spend the whole show talking about the Masters, but I just want to say it was not like watching Scottie Scheffler churn out a whatever round to win. It was like watching a human play golf, an exceptionally good golfer play golf, but there were moments when it looked like you can totally relate. Like you decide to lay up and
then go at the
and
pin.
then on your third shot chunk it in the creek. Right? I mean, there was moments like that where
that was a shot you would expect me or you to hit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But let me tell you something. I'd have tried my damnedest not to hit it.
Well, I would have been aimed 30 feet left of that pin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's a couple things about it. Number one, don't lose the fact that CBS does the best job anybody's ever done with golf. I mean, that's just the camera work, the commentary.
The fact that they don't beat you over the head with advertising. I mean, because they could. They got me. I'm a captive audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they didn't. They didn't beat me over the head with the advertising. It stops. Every now and then you get a rare commercial and you better run to the bathroom when you get one. For me, it's the best sporting event. Just the presentation and the stage and the stakes and everything. It's the best sporting event that there is. And, when I was a kid, I would have never said that. You know what I mean? I would have said the World Series or the Super Bowl or, But I mean, as I've gotten older and especially after this last weekend, I mean, shit, I don't know how you do any better than that.
I don't either. And, for something to be so compelling, it has to be more than just, Rory's story is obviously the story of the tournament, but my gosh, the supporting cast.
Yeah. Justin Rose, complete gentleman.
Justin Rose was magnificent. Bryson
DeChambeau, who continues his image rehabilitation PR blitz as like the good guy, you know what I mean?
I was worried he was not going to have any hands left from slapping everybody on the way to the next tee.
He also hit like 2,000 balls on the practice range over the weekend, which is like the equivalent of playing like 18 rounds of golf. So.
And before we go any further, kudos to Davis Riley of Hattiesburg. Shot a final round 69, finished in a tie for 21st, earned 200.
It's got to be the highest finish for a Mississippian at the Masters in a while,
huh? Maybe ever.
Wow.
Maybe ever. I should have looked that up. I haven't looked that up, but I will. But I think probably it is. And, he got, a tie for 21st now gets you $225,000 or something like that. But more than that, it earned him an incredible amount of respect.
Yeah. You can get some nice steaks in Hattiesburg for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Dad, I know you and I would sit here and talk about the Masters for the entire pod today, but we got to get into some other things. I want to talk about what you're writing about this week, the situation with the Tennessee quarterback, the Nico Iamaleava. Am I saying that correctly?
I believe you are saying it
Iamaleava.
correctly. I like calling him Nico.
I was just calling him Nico I'm a leaving.
That's it. Well, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. So give us the backstory for the listeners who don't know. I'm sure that a lot of people are clued into the story because it's kind of a. I don't know. Is he a canary in the coal mine?
I think we have some listeners who wouldn't be totally familiar with him. He's a 20-year-old quarterback, tall, 6'6", 220, a prototypical NFL quarterback who was one of five-star quarterbacks. He was the only one ranked behind Arch Manning in the class of 2023.
Really reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. I mean, like athletically, he's big, lanky, can run, big
strong arm. Yeah, he's got it all except maybe character. I don't know. Here we go. On the day before the Tennessee spring game, he decided he wasn't going to show up for practice. He was going to hold out. He's making a little bit over $2 million a year playing college football. He wanted to renegotiate his quote NIL contract, which he wanted $4 million a year. Tennessee said, nope, we'll do it without you. And that's what's happening. He's back in the transfer portal as of tomorrow.
Sounds like he's going to find somebody to pay him $4 million.
I don't know that anybody's going to pay him $4 million. I mean, I think the jury's out on that. He might get more than the $2 million. There's so many different angles to it, Tyler. Number one, it just shows how screwed up today's college football is, where you've got players can transfer every year. They can renegotiate their NILs every year. They kind of have the colleges over a barrel.
They got to put them in a bidding war.
Of course, the colleges have always had the players over.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, I get it. So the idea that the pendulum of control has swung maybe a little bit too far towards the players at this point? Is that kind of the...
Well, yeah, and we don't need a spring transfer portal.
We don't need spring games while we're at it, but continue.
Yeah, so anyway, of those five-star quarterbacks, it's supposed to be one of the greatest classes of high school quarterbacks in the history of football. Of those five, only one is still at the school he originally signed with. Everybody else has left their program at least once. There's one guy that's already playing in for his third team. This is the class of 2023.
Right. This is right out of the gate.
Yeah, so this guy has played, he's at his third school, and I can't pull it up right now. I don't have his name, but he's now at UTEP.
Okay.
But Iamaleava was ranked only behind Arch Manning, and it's kind of a shame that guys like Arch Manning are now a rarity.
Well, I mean, also, it hasn't really started except for when the starter was hurt, right?
Yeah, well, he's their guy now, and that's going to be a really interesting thing to watch. So many ways to look at it. One is, to me, is that Tennessee kind of is reaping what it sowed. They signed this kid, Nico, to a 4-year, $8 million contract while he was still in high school.
Right.
So
we got to do something to get him on campus.
Well, that's where we are in college football.
If that's the asking price, I mean, do you blame Tennessee for ponying it up initially?
I don't know. They had put a lot of marbles in the Arch Manning basket. That's who they wanted.
Right.
And then when that became apparent they weren't going to get him, they had to save face.
So how could this be fixed? So they've got, if the NCAA, can they even make rules at this point? I mean, it seems like they're...
No, it's going to take something from Congress. It's going to take a federal law, and the first thing you do is make contracts enforceable. I mean, the NFL wouldn't work either if the contracts weren't enforceable.
Right.
If Patrick Mahomes could renegotiate every year.
Right.
I mean, it's not a workable... there's no way it's ever going to work until their contracts and a salary cap. of some kind, the way the NFL has.
I think a salary cap is definitely, necessary at this point. But then how do you enforce that?
I don't know, because then they'll go back to just cheating.
Yeah, what do you know what I mean? That's exactly what I mean. I don't think there's any rules that the NCAA or anybody could make that would make the programs follow their rules. I don't think there's no. I don't think the NCAA has the teeth to enforce the rules that they still have. So I don't know. I did see Hugh Freeze weighed in on this, says that, it's gone way too far and that the players just have way too much, they basically can leave for any reason and go anywhere, and he's not surprised that it happened this quickly.
Well, somebody was asking me Sunday, could this ever happen in Mississippi? Well, hell, it already has.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you mean?
The Ole Miss running back.
Judkins.
Yeah, Quinshon Judkins. It's pretty much, there's so many parallels between the Tennessee quarterback and Judkins because, number one, both of them, Judkins had his mother who was negotiating for him. Mm-hmm. Iamaleava's dad is doing his negotiation.
I think there's a book here. The Courting of Nico Iamaleava.
Well, I was talking to some Ole Miss friends, and you can certainly make the case that Ole Miss would have been in the playoffs last year if they had kept Judkins, if they had come across and paid him. For the background on that, Judkins left for Ohio State and then helped them win the national championship. He was getting about $500,000 a year at Ole Miss. Every source I can find says he didn't get much more than that at Ohio State.
But won a national title.
He did get a national championship.
So, the kid got a little bit more, won a national championship. I get it. I understand it's not sustainable for year to year. You don't want to learn to love a roster completely full of new players every year.
Yeah, and I've talked to people in the Ole Miss program. These are people who are in that decision-making position. They say there's so many factors that nobody else thinks about. One being, what does it do to your locker room when the other players see a kid hold out or say, I'm not going to play unless you increase my...
Well, that's why you can't do it. That's why you have to let him walk.
That's why Ole Miss let him walk. That's why Tennessee
is letting Nico leave.
Yeah. So it's just sad. I've spent a lifetime covering this stuff closely.
Yeah. Well,
it's less entertaining now to me because of this.
I don't think it's any less entertaining when they're actually on the field. It's just the drama of getting it together on the field is never ending. It makes coaches' jobs infinitely harder. The only thing I'll say is I wish there was a way to recapture what we had with college football. And we don't want to start the conversation about basketball and the transfers there. There's more players in the portal than not in the portal in college basketball.
Yeah, everybody's looking for a better deal.
But what I'll say is that for the entirety of the existence of college football up until that point, the players were the ones bending over for the coaches in the schools. And it doesn't feel so good when it's coming the other way. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take a side on it. I'm just going to say that it's I'm glad to see the players have more power. I think a salary cap is the only sensible way to fix it, because I do think they should be compensated and well, especially for the amount of money that is being made. But they got to find some way to get it, like you said, contracts enforceable, salary cap, perhaps a smaller transfer window.
One a year, yeah, would be great. The other thing that has to be done is in the NFL, to be a player agent, you have to You have to be qualified. You have to have done it. You have to be certified. You have to know what you're doing to do it.
You're gonna say mom and dad can't negotiate?
That's right. Yeah. You have to have some credentials to be able to.
God, can you think of some of the characters that would have been cut out of the picture in Mississippi in the past? The unofficial representatives?
Yeah. Well, Congress is going to have to do something. I talked to 3 or 4 people. I'm writing about this week, and so I've done some background work and some research, and they don't think Congress is close. They have a few other things.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the people. This is our great hope. Congress.
Tommy Tuberville
leading the charge.
Yeah.
Pine Box.
Yeah. It's sad. I don't know what else to say. It's sad. Why don't we talk some college baseball?
Yeah, my God.
Why don't we talk some college baseball?
Get me off this ledge, man. I love college football. I hope they've figured out. All right.
And college basketball.
And college baseball.
Our last bastion.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's getting there.
I mean, ask Southern Miss, who lost by a game in a super regional and then watched Florida win the Natty with their number 2, you know what I mean? Like with their starting pitcher. So I don't know. All right. So things are heating up in SEC play. I know this weekend Ole Miss got one of the 3 against a really good Tennessee team, right?
Right.
And Mississippi State took 2 or 3 from a very good Alabama team.
Mississippi State needed that. And on the road.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the standings this morning. I see that Ole Miss is tied for 5th or 6th, one or the other. They're kind of middle of the pack. State's 5-10 in SEC play after 5 3-game series. Do you feel like, are they both solidly in the tournament, or does the State needs to win some more conference games?
Conference games, yeah, or win the tournament. But Ole Miss is 9-6 in the SEC. Do you know how good that is?
Yeah. Well, they're 27-9 overall.
I mean, they are a very good baseball team. I'm such a TV sports nerd that I was watching a lot of the Tennessee Ole Miss series on my phone while I'm watching the Masters on my big TV.
You're sick.
Well, yeah, but it was really compelling baseball, and Tennessee, gosh almighty, they are really, 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 really good, and they're really easy to dislike.
Yeah, well, we found that out last year at the Super Regional.
Yeah,
in Hattiesburg,
and they've toned it down some, but still, there was. I guess it was the Saturday game where the kid from Tennessee hit a go-ahead home run, running around bases, grabs his crotch in front of the Ole Miss.
Yeah,
that's that kind of stuff.
Just seems to happen with Tennessee. This is a very Tennessee-centric pod today. I'm going to throw it out there. This thing is
Big Orange.
Big Orange is more like Big Orange Crush right now. Dad, Southern Miss, I saw they took 2 of 3 over the weekend. They are 24-12 and 10-5 in the Sun Belt, tied for second with Troy, who has just come out of nowhere to be a really good baseball team this year, apparently, and Coastal Carolina, who's in first by a game.
And the sad thing of that whole looking down the road at the Sun Belt Conference baseball is that Coastal and Southern Miss do not play a regular season series, which somebody in the conference office needs to say, that's a series we need to play every year.
I mean, it's hard to believe that didn't come up when they were laying out the schedule for the year.
Yeah, they should be playing.
And I was looking at Troy's schedule, and it looks like they did play. I mean, they played a couple of, they played like the UAB in the non-conference. They played that midweek game at Alabama. Well, they played a midweek games. So single games at Auburn and another one at Alabama. Couldn't win either one of those. But it seems like they've, I don't think they've played the kind of schedule Southern Miss has, but they're both 10-5 in the conference. sitting there in second place. Do you know what Southern Miss has got coming up?
Well, this is Tuesday morning. They play a good RPI game at Southeastern Louisiana. It will have been played when people hear this. And then I think they have Georgia State, who's a game behind them and Troy in the standings.
So they're 22-16.
They're in Hattiesburg this weekend. I think they end the season with Troy, which will be
it's going to be a huge series because Troy did play Coastal Carolina. I remember when that happened because I was thinking if they would go up there and beat them, that would be big for Southern Miss because Southern Miss gets a chance to beat on Troy and they don't get a chance to beat on Coastal. All right. So do you still think they're all three NCAA playoff? Do you think they're good enough teams to make the playoff? Can they win in the playoffs?
Well, Ole Miss is in unless they just fall flat on their faces, and they're not going to do that. They're too good to do that. Southern Miss is in if they just, I think the Sun Belt right now is a 3-team league, and the three are obvious unless something changes.
Yeah.
And then State, I just think State has work to do. Are they one of the best 64 teams in college baseball?
Yes.
Hell, they're probably one of the best 30 teams in college baseball. But
that ain't how they do it.
You're 5-10 in your league. You gotta do better than that.
Yeah, they need to get some of that college football committee where they decide who the best teams are, so that State can just get a. I mean, because you're right that saying they're not one of the 64 best teams in the country is absolutely ridiculous.
Or again, one of the 30 best teams in the country.
Dad, the only other thing I had on my schedule to talk about, and I don't even know if it's even worth talking about at this point, is the news flash that Derek Carr will probably miss the entire 2025 season with a shoulder injury of some kind.
Yes.
And, usually your reaction would be like, oh, I hope this isn't true, or, oh, I hope he's okay, or whatever it is, and my reaction is just immediately I went to, do we have to pay this man? Do the Saints have to pay Derek Carr?
And the answer is yes.
I mean, I'm getting a lawyer at least. We're at least going to look into it. I mean, this guy is,
well, you can't. I mean, that's the contracts that we need in college football are enforced in the NFL. I mean, they would.
How did he hurt?
There's part of the contract they wouldn't have to pay.
How did he hurt the shoulder?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going all in. I'm going on an invest because this is highway robbery.
Well,
highway robbery.
Here's my take on what the
man is wrecking my franchise.
They should draft anything but a quarterback this year.
So we've gone full swing from, they should draft Jackson Dart to they should not draft a quarterback and try to go tank for Arch Manning.
That's exactly what I would do.
You would tank for Arch Manning. You would trade away
I
Kamara.
Wouldn't tell my players to lose a game on purpose, but if they go into the season with
Spencer Rattler is buddy, it'd be you could play the dun 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 like as they're taking the field.
It's just I don't think drafting Jackson Dart or
you don't
Sanders.
Surely not Shedeur Sanders, but if
I don't think bringing either one of them in and making them a starter as a rookie with that surrounding cast is a recipe for success.
I wouldn't draft a single player under 285 pounds if I was the Saints. I don't think I'd draft a player under 300 pounds. I think I would just draft all linemen. And, like you said, and then I would cut bait on, everybody. Kamara, I would trade away basically the whole offense for draft picks and for whatever cap space.
That's not what they're going to do, but there's a part of me that would love to surround Arch Manning with a lot of really good players in New Orleans
it would be a blast.
Yeah.
It would be a blast. And he's not, it would be one of those things where he's not, you saw it at Texas, he's kind of stuck it out when he won the start. Like he won't, bail on you. You know what I mean? He's not going to quit on you. He's not going to bail on you.
He's a Manning,
right? He'll stick around, and if things go well enough, he might even re-sign with you. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, at this point, like I said, I would love to see Jackson Dart be a New Orleans Saint, just to have that storyline and connection. But at this point, I really just want him to go to Derek Carr's house with pitchforks and torches. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, he will have, if he misses the entire season for this 3-year deal, it would be basically he missed more games than he played in.
Yeah.
And it's like a huge contract that they can't afford.
Yeah, and they can save some. They could just lop him and save some money.
They just did. They converted his whole salary to a signing bonus, and then all they gave converted to a signing bonus, and all now the shoulders, the wings a little. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I don't know. The sports writer in me says we'll see how this plays out. The Saints fan in me says that dude can kick rocks.
Well, I became a Saints fan 58 years ago, so I'm used to this crap.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would think I would be too, but they've flirted with greatness there for a few years. It got my hopes up, and now, I guess you got to remember this kind of time when things are going well. But Dad, anything else? What else are you excited about this weekend?
It's Easter weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the whole family together. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the last month or so of golf we have before
the heat.
You know, I want to play a bunch of golf in the next few weeks.
What are you cooking us for Easter? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. We're going to take a vote.
Okay.
What do you got in mind?
Chateaubriand.
We can do that.
Okay.
I may have to go take a lawn out.
I'll handle the horseradish sauce.
Okay.
That's all the time we got, everybody. Y'all have a great one out there. Have a happy Easter, and we'll talk to you here next week.